Hello everyone, my name is Arden and welcome back to another video. Today I'll be taking a look at set 70686, the Spinjitzu Burst Kai. So this set has 48 pieces, is meant for ages 7 and up, which seems odd to me because I just reviewed the Tournament of Elements and that was 6 and up, and you actually have more of a build there, I guess, kind of the structure here. I don't know, it seems like an odd age rating to me. This set has one minifigure, being that Spinjitzu Burst Kai, for sure the draw to this set. And then you have the gimmicky spinner for this wave, being the March of the Mountain? Master of the Mountain, sorry. Burst or spinner pieces, or really good ones like these right here, these game pieces. Those I think are really good. These and the epic battle sets as well. These aren't my favorite. I must say I kind of just wanted the minifigure here. I recently ordered this off Toys R Us, which it's a retired set, so it was odd that they had it, but they had on their online site, they had the J game console or machine, and as well as this Spinjitzu Burst, and it was kind of just odd. They had two retired sets and I just ordered them. So yeah, I'm going to take a look at the build here, the base of it, the minifigure, and then kind of just show you how this works, then also the box. So here is the thing. You get the Spinjitzu Burst thing, which you're gonna hit down here. That's gonna unleash the Spinjitzu Burst section, and you'd get. You really don't see Spinjitzu Burst in the series really at all. For Cole, we see it, but I don't remember seeing it for Kai or Lloyd. Like, they have minifigures, but those are always the ones when we've had these reduced to 3. It's usually Lloyd as well as Kai, and then whoever the main ninja of that season is. So this minifigure I think is a pretty good Kai minifigure. I like the flames all throughout it. This is the same light printing as some other Kai minifigures, like the Tournament of Elements Kai. I like this figure. I think it's pretty good. I really like that mask piece with the dark red. The facial expression, I think it's cool. I like that. The back printing looks really cool. That might be one of my favorite parts of this minifigure, is just the back printing looks really cool. I like this figure. I think it's a good Kai minifigure. It's not the best Kai minifigure, but I think it's a good addition to the Kai minifigures. So here is the Spinjitzu Burst section. This one's meant for Kai, of course. You have some lava there and a bit of a rock build, kind of like the Dungeons of Shintaro, is what I would guess this is kind of trying to represent. So before I'm just going to spin this off, show you inside of it. There's 2 studs. There's a rubber band there, which I really wish they used a different color. I don't think that looks the best. But these pieces, I think, look cool. I think it's a good idea. The one thing that I'm not the biggest fan of the original spinners, but one thing that I think they had going for them, where these new spinners don't, is that those had a special design to each spinner that made you want to collect them. You weren't just in it for the minifigures like these sets are, because the function here isn't that impressive, really. And the spinner, there's nothing really special about it. The thing those had going for them was the fact that you had an exclusive spinner, and at times some really nice exclusive minifigures. Of course, you had some more boring minifigures like the Kendo Ninja, but there were still cheap ways to get the ninja in their original days of Lego Ninjago. And I think that's what those really had going for them, is that you got a couple exclusive things in almost every case. And I think that was really cool, whereas the build here, I could honestly really care less about it. I think it works fine. I'll show you that if I hopefully get it to work. But the times I've used it, it has worked fine. It's just I feel like this set, other than the minifigure, doesn't have much going for it, whereas the recently released epic battle sets, you had 4 of them. Each one had 2 minifigures instead of 1, and you also got a build that was a really decent build. It was a little structure, and I think that just is way better than one minifigure and a gimmicky spinner build. I think in as we continue for Ninjago, however long it lasts, I think builds like the arcade pods as well as the epic battle sets should become more of the normal uh, spinner or gimmicky sets for the wave. They have too many figures, and I think they're good minifigures at that. Not that this Kai minifigure isn't good, it's just the spinner doesn't really intrigue me that much, and I think they've kind of lost their intrigue as they've kept going on, just changing it up just a tiny bit, whether it's air jitsu, spin jitsu, some other jitsu. This just doesn't, I don't think, is that great. But after really giving you my thoughts on this, I'm just going to show you how this works. So, of course, there's the studs. You just place your minifigure in there, make sure they're in there quite well. You want to twist this up. As you do that, those go up. I'm going to zoom out a bit so you can kind of see it. And I'm just going to slam on this thing, and it spins. That didn't open up. I'm going to try again. The idea here, at least the box, is that this would really open up and really look a lot better. And that was too hard. So yeah, it doesn't seem to be the best when it comes to working. It spins fine, but it kind of just looks like a spinning top with a minifigure inside. So I'm going to take a look at the box of this set and then give you my final thoughts on this spinner set. So here is the box of this Spinjitzu Burst set. It's an interesting shaped box. You see the other ones there. I think the Cool is my favorite of all these, but I like that they changed the color of the big pieces there. I think the box art on this looks really cool, especially battling one of those Shintaro Dungeon skeletons, and just how this is supposed to work. It doesn't seem to work that good. This kind of folds out, which is interesting. And overall, I like the box art here. I really like the art on the side of the box for Kai versus that skeleton. I think this is a cool shaped box. It's something different, and I think I like that. It's not it's not different like the Spinjitzu sets where you change a little aspect. It's actually quite different for a Lego box. So yeah, I like this box, and now I'll just go to my final thoughts on this set. So that was my review of the Spinjitzu Burst Kai, and I think these are fine additions to the gimmicky Spinjitzu yearly sets. But I think after seeing what LEGO can do when it comes to Prime Empire as well as Legacy with the Epic Battle sets, I think those are a lot better than these Spinjitzu sets. So of course, we have 3 more coming out in March of 2022 with the ones for Ninjago Core. But I think for me at least, even though I'm going to buy those because I want the minifigures, I feel like these Spinjitzu sets have lost their intrigue, and they've just become random yearly gimmicky sets that sometimes have really nice minifigures, but do you want to pay $15 for a minifigure, or $13, or whatever it is, for one minifigure that's not that amazing, but it's kind of cool? I think I talked about in this video where I'm not the biggest fan of those original spinners. I have a few myself, 3 or 4 of them. But I think those were good in that you got something exclusive when it came to the spinner aspect. They were simple, you got a minifigure, and you got the spinner. But I think the time has passed for Ninjago spinners. Now, Spinjitzu is a huge part of the Ninjago series, and it makes sense to have that in a set. But I think the best way to go about it is very simple, and we saw it with the Epic Battle sets, is that we have one of these stands, or these staff things. And staff, that's really not the right word. It has a tire piece. It can spin. You can add a piece like this to it, and it can spin. I think that really allows you to control it for play. I think that's a lot better. And in the Epic Battle Sets, of course, that one's smaller and it doesn't have that piece. But you got 2 minifigures, and the Ninja minifigures were really nice. I think really better than anything recent from the Spinjitzu Burst, Spinjitzu Smash, Spinjitzu whatever has come up with. And the minifigures were really nice. You got 2 of them. You also got a build, and you got that Spinjitzu part. And I think that's the best way to go about these yearly small $12, $13 sets, is to go with what you had with the Epic Battle Set. That can change depending on a different season. Like, say you want to make it on a specific season, you can have 4 of those sets, or 3. Of course, it would likely be Lloyd and Kai, and then the main ninja of the set. You could have builds that connect together maybe for the season. Scenery builds that you could add to your main sets of the wave. And you could have 2 minifigures, and you'd get something exclusive with those 2 minifigures likely, as well as getting a nice build. And you would still have that Spinjitzu function that is quite integral to the Ninjago story, but I think it's just done in a lot better way, where you don't need to have a $13 set coming up with a new feature slightly changed for Spinjitzu. So I like this set. I think they're alright. I just said I liked it, and then I said it was alright. I think the minifigure's cool. The Spinjitzu Burst thing doesn't seem to work the best. And my biggest issue with this set is that I know this released before it, so you couldn't compare it at the time, but comparing it now, what is out right now, or just recently retired with the Epic Battle Sets, is a lot better than anything you can get here. I just think the time of Spinjitzu gimmicky spinners has passed, and the current way of doing it, included with a few sets like this, is just a lot better. And by not having big, large pieces for Spinjitzu, you're able to include an extra minifigure and a lot more interesting of a build. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I know this is probably one of my more negative reviews, and I can't change that. I think the only people that can obviously change it is LEGO, and I think the time has passed. I hope you all can agree with me in the comments that the time for Spinjitzu spinners has passed, and the current sets that have been released, like Epic Battle Sets, I just think are a whole lot better. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Now looking at it, I enjoyed making this video, just talking about. This was less of a review of the Spinjitzu Burst and just more of my thoughts on these Spinjitzu gimmicky sets that I don't know if I'm going to bring up as much in the reviews that I have for the upcoming March ones, but I may just sprinkle that in there. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.